Will the graduates please be seated? Will the graduates please be seated?
So now it goes flourish.
Will the graduates please be seated as the class marshals hoist the college colors? They will be escorted by members of the Executive Board of the Student Government Association. As I call their names, would the class marshals take their seats with their respective classes? From the College of Social Science and Humanities, Sarah Tischler, with a Bachelor of Arts degree and a QPA of 3.990. From the College of Science, there are 3 persons with perfect 4-point averages. They are Stephen Criscione, with a Bachelor of Science degree and a 4.000. Emily Wiesek, with a Bachelor of Science degree and a 4.000. And Thomas Rionen, with a Bachelor of Science degree and a 4.000. From the College of Arts, Media, and Design, Andrew Schumann, with a 4.000 and a Bachelor of Science degree. From the College of Business Administration, Sean Hellman, with a 4.000 and a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. From the College of Engineering, James Kirk, with a 3.973 and a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Engineering. From Bouvet College of Health Sciences, Caitlin Ostrander, with a 3.971 and a Bachelor of Science degree. And from the College of Computer and Information Sciences, Kenneth McCready, with a 3.945 and a Bachelor of Science degree. Representatives of the university faculty will now take their places. Alumni representing the class of 1961 and golden graduates will now take their seats.
Graduates, I salute you.
Would all degree candidates and their guests please rise? Shelley Jankowski Smith, Director of Spiritual Life, along with community chaplains, Brother Joseph Donovan, Imam Abdullah Farouk, the Reverend Judith Stewart, Mr. Vivek Arora, and Rabbi Silberman will offer a group prayer. After the prayer, let us all join in singing the first stanza of the national anthem, led by Lauren Solo, Bouvet College of Health Sciences.
As our chaplains offer a prayer from many religious traditions, may their varied voices collectively express the hopes and prayers of this community.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal God, who has given us life, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this joyous occasion.
Father God, on this day of celebration, we reflect on what we have learned and who we have become. We thank you for the trials and tribulations that have served to make us stronger and wiser people. Thank you.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Guide us on the path of those who are upright, the path of those on whom you have bestowed your grace, not among those who have earned your anger or been led astray. Amen.
Domine ad dator vitae, cum ple filias tuas et filios tuos, cum confidentia veniente et cognitione delictionis tuae, et assiduatis tuae in omnibus aetatibus et rebus. Lord and giver of life, fill these, your sons and daughters, with the confidence which comes from knowing your love and your presence in every time and situation.
May these graduates rejoice in the gifts of knowledge and education and go forth into the world as agents of wisdom, peace, and justice. Gracious God of all, may we be servant leaders always, from generation to generation. Amen.
What so proud
The color guard from the Army ROTC will now post the colors.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Steve Director, Provost, and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. And I'd like to welcome all of you to our 2011 commencement. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Northeastern University, I wish to extend congratulations to all of those receiving degrees today. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President of Northeastern University, Joseph E. Aoun.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Louder. Good morning, everyone. Great. I would like to welcome you all to the 109th commencement exercises at Northeastern University. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. I would like to specially recognize our golden graduates who graduated over 50 years ago. We salute you. To our graduates, it has given all of us great joy to support your transformation from accomplished individuals into even more accomplished scholars, professionals, and human beings. Many congratulations on all of your achievements. To our parents, families, friends, spouses, and partners, I know you share in the great happiness of this occasion as deeply as our graduates. Your guidance, your encouragement, your sacrifices, and your love have helped bring our graduates to this proud moment. Graduates, please rise. Now, what I would like to ask is for the graduates to applaud all those who have helped you. Please be seated. To our trustees, alumni, my faculty colleagues, and our staff, today is a vivid reminder of what motivates our work as a community. Our students make Northeastern the vibrant university that it is, and you have helped make our students the dynamic individuals they are. Thank you. And to our speakers and honorary degree recipients, welcome to the Northeastern family. Your lives reflect the values that define our university. Your accomplishments represent the promise that lies within each of our students. Thank you for joining us today. This year's commencement holds a special significance for me. Like most of you who are graduating today, I also arrived at Northeastern 5 years ago. We have experienced much together. We have seen our campus become more diverse, with many more students coming to us from all over the world. We have expanded co-op by infusing it with hundreds of new global opportunities. You and your peers have worked in 160 cities in 69 countries and all 7 continents, including Antarctica. We have empowered you to immerse yourselves in the world. We did this by design for one powerful reason. We knew that your future success will turn on your ability to navigate the landscape of a diverse world. More than ever before, changes throughout the world will affect you directly, but you also have the power to affect the world. The rise of new economic powers, the educational advancement of different nations, the explosion of knowledge, all of these can be viewed either as barriers to or opportunities for your futures. But how you view the world depends on your state of mind. If you see the world through only one lens, if you define others in opposition to you, then it is likely that you will perceive these developments as obstacles. But if you can broaden your point of view, if you can navigate the world as a global citizen, then what others see as challenges will be opportunities for you. A global citizen is someone who has more than knowledge about the world. It is someone who has the ability to embrace difference instead of rejecting it. A global citizen is someone who has an open mind and can integrate the perspectives of others into their own perspectives. In many ways, the purpose of your journey at Northeastern has been to become a global citizen. Through your classes and scholarship, your co-ops, your activities on campus, and your service to our communities, you have achieved that goal. Now, you are poised to begin new journeys in which each of you, in 1,000 different ways, will be faced with the distinctive challenge of your generation, creating harmony in a world of ever-increasing diversity. It will be your task to find security in the face of conflict, promote health in the face of sickness, and assure the sustainability of the planet in the face of scarcity. I do believe you are ready to meet these challenges in whatever form they may come. Each of you will have the capacity to make great contributions to the lives of your fellow men and women. The problems of our age may seem daunting, but as innovators and entrepreneurs, you can be the ones to solve them. You have the power to forge new tools and shape new solutions. In the past, I have encouraged you to take risks. Do not play it safe now. You must rise above the urge to settle for the status quo. You are the vanguard of a new world, a world that is yet to be made. To paraphrase Leonardo da Vinci, it is not enough to be aware of the world's challenges or merely to be willing to address them. Go forward today filled with an innovative and entrepreneurial spirit. Be filled with the urgency of doing. Graduates, I salute you.
Thank you, President Aoun. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce our student speaker. Sarah Tischler has forged a remarkable academic career at Northeastern. A triple major in international affairs, psychology, and French, she is one of the 5 winners of the Harold D. Hodgkinson Achievement Award, the university's top academic honor for seniors. On the strength of her outstanding work on international co-ops, most notably at the Geneva Center for Security Policy in Switzerland, she was named Presidential Global Fellow this spring. Sarah is determined to pursue a career in the law that will enable her to make positive and meaningful change in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2011 student speaker, Sarah Tischler.
Good morning. President Aoun, Provost Director, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, proud families, loved ones, friends, and graduates, Welcome. Before I begin, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank my family and my boyfriend for being here today. And I'd also like to wish my mom an early happy Mother's Day. I could not have done this without them. Now let's show our appreciation as a class for the people in all of our lives who brought us to this moment. Commencement. An interesting word choice to describe something that is coming to an end. The word commencement, in fact, comes from a French verb, meaning to start or begin. So in the spirit of the word commencement, let's continue this day, not as a sad ending, but as a promising beginning, the start of our lives as college graduates. When we began this journey, who could have imagined the great things that we have accomplished? I have the pleasure of knowing students who have won national awards in diverse competitions, from field hockey to writing contests. We have worked at record labels in New York and at hospitals here in Boston. Some of us have even spent the majority of our undergraduate careers outside of the United States at prestigious universities and businesses around the world. But we haven't just been winning competitions and going to interesting places. We've been making a big difference in the lives of our fellow human beings. In this room sits a team of 4 mechanical engineering students who designed a solar-powered food dryer that will allow struggling farmers to preserve what little they have. There's an architecture major who worked for 6 months at an environmental design firm in Boston, where she and her colleagues created concepts that will propel us into a greener future. There is also a criminal justice and economics double major who founded and operates a nonprofit organization called Foster Skills that teaches kids in foster care to beat the odds against them. Collectively, we're pretty impressive. The question is, what next? In the vibrant community of Northeastern, we have made lifelong friends, we've been taught by inspiring professors, and we have put our unofficial motto, going to a 4-year school is like leaving a party at 10 o'clock, to good use. The prospect of leaving such a great place is understandably terrifying. But if there's one final lesson that we should learn from our time at Northeastern, it's that we cannot be afraid of change. C.S. Lewis, the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, once wrote, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be much harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary, decent egg. We must be hatched or go bad." While no one plans on being a rotten egg for his or her career, the process of hatching is indeed a daunting one. The fear of failure lurks around every corner, and we are faced with the unsettling possibility that what we think we want isn't even what we really want. This fear will ultimately hold us back if we allow it. To quote another literary great, Homer Simpson once mused, "You tried your best and failed miserably. The lesson is, never try." Well, au contraire, Simpson. My mom, one of the smartest people I know, once told me about an advisor she had in college. He told her that the best experience she could have would be to fail, to discover that in the face of great disappointment, the world does not stop turning. Your life is not over, and failing at what you think you want may even shine light on what you really want. When she first told me the story in middle school, you can imagine the teenage eye rolling that took place. But she had a point. Of course, I'm not advocating failure for the fun of it. I'm sure that my mom would not have been too pleased if I had taken the lesson of her anecdote literally. Instead, my point is twofold. With every risk, there is a chance of failure. But if we never take risks, we will never have the chance to attain what could have been. The first president of this great university, Frank Palmer Spear, took a few risks himself when he began teaching classes at the YMCA on Huntington Avenue. As we prepare ourselves to take the step that will culminate consistent effort and determination, going from undergraduates to graduates, from unhatched eggs to creatures of flight, we would do well to remember his original entrepreneurial spirit and strength of character. The night classes at the Y have turned into a world-renowned institution, and the could have been that President Spear risked is about to become our alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2011, you are about to take flight. While you can still call yourself an undergraduate, picture the person you want to be in 20 years. Now I want you to take that vision and believe it right now in this moment. In this room are the future curers of cancer, the treaty signers, the industry leaders, the pioneering engineers, the revolutionary thinkers, the inspiring teachers, and so much more. We can and we will do great things, provided we embrace risks and continue to learn from our successes and failures. Just make sure that at the end of the day, you don't look back and see an ordinary, unhatched egg. Congratulations, class of 2011, and may the future bring you all the happiness and good fortune in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for your memorable remarks. I know that your parents are very, very proud of you, as we all are. It's now my pleasure to introduce Daniel Lindquist, chair of the senior class gift drive. Dan is an enthusiastic student leader who rallied his entire class with great spirit. Dan is graduating with a degree from the College of Business Administration. He has also been a senior admissions fellow and resident assistant on campus. Following graduation, Dan will begin working at PricewaterhouseCoopers as a financial consultant. Please join me in welcoming Dan Lindquist to the podium to present the 2011 class gift.
Congratulations, class of 2011. We've made it. We've gotten to commencement. It's exciting. A lot of us have completed our journey today, and we've actually been able to, get to our point. And many of us have also given back to our university and taken the first step to being active alumni. And not just being alumni who sit back, but being ones who give back to their university. And each and every one of you who donated to the university recognize the amazing opportunities that we've had here and recognize everything that Northeastern has given us. And by giving back, it's an essential part of being an alumni. And as we continue, just as Sarah said, to move on from this point, we'll be alumni and we'll need to continue to support the university and make sure that these opportunities that we have had are available for every single Husky that comes after us. It's with great pleasure that I present this check for over $11,150 to the university on your behalf. And I thank each and every one of you who attended one of our events, who gave to the senior class gift, and it is also our hope that the classes that come after us follow our lead and continue to support the university each step of the way. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dan, and the entire class of 2011. Our alumni are vital members of the Northeastern family. I now have the pleasure of introducing Jack Moynihan, class of 1993, and Vice President for Alumni Relations and the Northeastern Fund. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
It is my privilege to welcome the class of 2011 to Husky Nation, a network of more than 204,000 Northeastern University graduates spread across the country and around the world. Today, you join a unique group of innovative, influential, and motivated leaders who have blazed the trail before you. We are honored to have with us, representing the entire alumni community, members of the 50th reunion, class of 1961. I would now ask all of the Golden graduates to please stand. I present to you our newest class of alumni. To the class of 2011, we are truly excited about what the future holds for you. You are Northeastern. We have faith in your abilities and wish you great success. We also hope that your alumni experience is as rewarding as your student experience has been. Maintain a lifelong connection to the university and celebrate all that it means to be a Husky. We are all in this together, you, me, and everyone here today. We are Northeastern. Now, join me for our traditional pinning ceremony and welcome Brian Nelson, President of the Student Alumni Association, to the podium. Class of 2011, please join me in removing the pin from your card and place it on the fellow graduate on your right. This pin is a symbol of your hard work, determination, and accomplishments. We are all proud of you and thrilled to welcome you into our alumni family. Wear your pin proudly. Congratulations, and go Huskies!
Thank you, Jack. Honorary degrees will now be conferred. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Cy Sternberg, Chair of the Board of Trustees.
Mr. President, the Board of Trustees of Northeastern University authorizes the conferral of honorary degrees upon the following candidates in recognition of notable achievement in their respective fields. Leslie Cohen Berlowitz, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, escorted by Dean George Van Den Abeel and Vice Chair Catherine McHugh. Reverend Dr. Gregory G. Groover, Sr., for the degree of Doctor of Public Service, escorted by Chairman Emeritus Neil Finnegan and Dean Stephen Zoloth. Bert and John Jacobs, each for the degree of Doctor of Entrepreneurship, escorted by Trustee Emeritus Roger Marino and Vice Chair George Shamala and Acting Dean Harry Lane. The Honorable Ashiro Fujisaki, on behalf of the people of Japan, for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, escorted by Trustee Alan S. McKim and Brodsky Trustee Professor Alan W. Bird. Henri Tamir, for the degree of Doctor of Global Business, escorted by Trustee Henry J. Nacella and Trustee Carol Shapazian.
Thank you, Chairman Sternberg. It is now my pleasure to call upon Dean George Van Den Abeel to escort the degree candidate and Northeastern University Board of Trustees Vice Chair Catherine McHugh to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting Leslie Cohen Berlowitz for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you, Dean Van Den Abeel.
Leslie Cohen Berlowitz, academic leader, interdisciplinary thinker, vigorous advocate for the liberal arts. Driven by an expansive view of higher learning, Your transformative initiatives have made the American Academy of Arts and Sciences more vital than ever to the imperative issue debates of our times. In response to the U.S. Congress's call, you organized the Academy's Commission on the Humanities and Social Sciences, enriching teaching and research in fields that are crucial to culture, education, and America's economic competitiveness. Your wise leadership and talent at forging partnerships across disciplines and among communities of interest, first at New York University and now at the Academy, have injected new vigor into these great institutions.
Leslie Cohen Berlowitz, in recognition of your perceptive vision of academia and the integrated role that every field plays in the advancement of knowledge, Northeastern University is pleased to bestow upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters. In recognition of this degree, Dean Vanden Abil will vest you with the hood, and after which I will present you with a diploma. It is my pleasure now to call upon Chairman Emeritus Neil F. Finnegan to escort the degree candidate and Dean Steve Zoloth to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you Reverend Dr. Gregory Groover for the degree of Doctor of Public Service.
Thank you, Chairman Emeritus Finnegan.
Reverend Dr. Gregory G. Groover, Sr., servant of the community, trusted education leader, voice for Boston's children. As Boston School Committee Chairman, community leader, and pastor of a historic Roxbury church, you possess a passion for the power of education and for the success of young people everywhere. Your personal integrity, your commitment, and deep knowledge of education issues have made you a trusted and unifying presence, able to rally public school officials, teachers, community leaders, parents, and fellow clergy behind policies and programs that help Boston's children to achieve their dreams. As Education Committee Chair of Boston's Black Ministerial Alliance, and as pastor of the historic Charles Street AME Church, you have led the development of innovative after-school programs that breathe life into the academic and life goals of students throughout the city.
Reverend Dr. Gregory Groover, Sr., in recognition of your powerful voice and far-sighted action on behalf of Boston's school children, Northeastern University is pleased to bestow upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Public Service. In recognition of this degree, Chairman Emeritus Finnegan will vest you with the hood, after which I will present you with a diploma. Thank you, Dr. Groover. It is now my pleasure to call upon Northeastern University Trustee Emeritus Roger Marino and Vice Chair George Chamilar to escort the degree candidates and Acting Dean Harry Lane to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, it is my honor to present Bert Jacobs for the degree of Doctor of Entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Trustee Emeritus Marino.
Mr. President, it is my honor to introduce John Jacobs for the degree Doctor of Entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Vice Chair Chamillard.
Bert and John Jacobs, ambassadors for optimism, standard bearers for fun, promoters of the positive. Together, you created a venture built on optimism, belief, and time-honored entrepreneurial values, such as innovation, perseverance, self-confidence, and passion. Your faith in the power of your message, that optimism can make a real difference in the world, has been repaid by the faith of those who are moved by it. Making Life is Good, a uniquely inspiring global brand. Living your ideals, you have focused on making life good for your employees, and through your philanthropy of the Life is Good festivals, making life better for children who have faced unimaginable challenges.
Bert and John Jacobs, in recognition of your commitment to Bert and John Jacobs, in recognition of your commitment to the courage of positive thinking that has helped millions embrace your upbeat ethos in their own lives, Northeastern University is pleased to bestow upon each of you the honorary degree of entrepreneurship. In recognition of these degrees, Trustee Emeritus Marino and Vice Chair Chamillard have already vested you with the hoods. And now I am going to present you with the diploma.
Go to the mic here.
It is now a special moment for all of us. I would like to call upon Northeastern University Board of Trustee member Ellen McKim to escort the degree candidate and Professor Ellen Bird to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting Ichiro Fujisaki for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you, Trustee McKim.
日本国民の皆様、アメリカ合衆国駐札特命全権大使、藤坂一郎閣下、強い道徳心の礎、勇気の規範、人間精神の守護者、2011年3月11日に起こった東日本大震災の危機的な状況の中、日本の皆様は困難な状況に対して真空を分かち合い、そして助け合い、国民全人の力で立ち向かわれています。不屈の精神と信念を持って再建への活動を行っている皆様、この復興への息吹に触れ、我々は深く感銘を受けました。あなた方はこの未曾有の大惨事をもきっと魂の勝利へと変革していくはずだと確信しております。藤崎一郎駐米国日本国大使はアメリカと国際社会による日本への支援を調整するため、そして日本が今 最も必要としている支援を保障するために精力的に取り組んでおられます。The people of Japan and the Honorable Ichiro Fujisaki, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Japan to the United States of America. Pillars of moral strength, exemplars of courage, keepers of the human spirit. In the face of the catastrophic events of March 11, 2011, and their challenging aftermath, the Japanese people have met mortal danger with fortitude, want with generosity, and uncertainty with faith. Through every act of rebuilding, every shared burden, and every healing impulse, the Japanese people are creating meaning out of disaster and transforming tragedy into a triumph of the spirit. Your ambassador to the United States of America, the Honorable Ichiro Fujisaki, have worked tirelessly to coordinate American and international support for Japan and ensure that the world's response is meeting your nation's most pressing needs.
The Honorable Ambassador Fujisaki, in recognition of your tireless efforts to champion the cause of the Japanese people and the courage your nation has shown the world, Northeastern University is pleased to bestow upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters. In recognition of this degree, Trustee McKim will vest you with the hood. And now I'm going to present the ambassador with the diploma. Let me mention that the ambassador told Alan Bird, I thought that you read very good English, and I thought you were Japanese. So thank you, Professor Bird, and thank you, Ambassador Fujisaki. Over the past 2 months, all of us have been touched by the extraordinary strength and resilience of the Japanese people, and they continue to inspire us. We are honored to have the Japanese ambassador to the United States speak to us today. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Ichiro Fujisaki.
Congratulations to class of 2011 and the family members. Thank you very much, Northeastern University, for having me here today to recognize the Japanese people. As you all know, on 3/11 this year, we had huge tragedy. The biggest earthquake, the tallest tsunami, and the most serious nuclear accident. 3 things at the same time. No people have experienced that ever before. The struggle is continuing. However, we are helped by being able to have 3 convictions. 1, as you know, Japanese people were dignified, resilient, helped each other. That is why I'm here today, to be recognized as a representative of Japanese people. Second conviction is that we were supported by people around the world, especially you Americans. Your experts, government officials worked day and night with us. 20,000 American military men and women were deployed for search and rescue and transporting basic human needs. Big companies have extended donations, and people around the country from all states have sent us cards, contributions, 1,000 cranes from kids as well. They're so cute. Some kids gave up their birthday gift and sent us bills of $20, $50. It was so moving. Third conviction is that because of this Japanese people's resilience and support from United States and people around the world, we are convinced that we will come back. We will come back strongly. So please do not hesitate to visit us in Japan. But we are in difficult times, and it means a lot to us that American people stood for us, stood by us. We will long remember this. We will never forget this. And from bottom of our heart, we'll say, thank you, arigato. Now that you are leaving school, some people may go to graduate school, some people may start working. Someone who have left school 40 years ago, I would like to give some advice. In the school, I think you were told to try to get A's. And I don't know how many A's you get in 16 years, but being here, I think you've got a lot. But if you leave the school, I'm sorry, teachers, but try to forget about getting A's. Try to get B's. The first B is bond. In school, at classroom, if you raise your hand, teacher will give you an opportunity to speak. That does not happen in the real world. You have to be invited to the place which is not open to everyone. And in order to speak, you have to acquire respect from other people in advance. That means that you have to know people. That is the bond with others. Try to always think that the real society, of course you have to be smart as well, but what is important is the human relation bond. Second B is balance. At school, if you're careful, a math test and history exam would not come at the same time. Not in real life. Everything could come at the same time. And you can't scream that I can't take it. Of course you can. And if you do that, you will never be looked upon by others. People will never come to you. You have to always try to manage the time, balance things, and try to balance the priority. That is the important thing in the real life. That's the second B. Third B is briefness or brevity. You can write a long thesis, papers, and maybe because of length, that could be respected at school, not in real life. People will expect you to speak less than 3 minutes. I'm going on a little more than that, but and papers have to be very short, concise as well. When I was seconded to an institute, academic institute, I was asked to write Japan-Russia relations or something in 100 pages, and I was at a loss because in my work, everything had to be done in 2 or 3 pages. US economy next decade, or China-US relations in next 20 years or whatever, everything has to be in 2 or 3 pages. That brevity is very important in your life, so please remember that as well. I can go on to courage, C, or dignity, D, or entrepreneurship, E, but if I go on too long, I will breach my third B of brevity, so I will not go on. But many good things are waiting for you in life. Life is good. So congratulations again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ambassador Fujisaki, for your inspiring words. We'll keep the 3 Bs and invite you back for the Ws. And now it is my pleasure to call upon Trustee Henry J. Nasella to escort the degree candidate and Trustee Carol J. Chapazian to join me at the podium.
Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting Henry Termier for the degree Doctor of Global Business.
Thank you, Trustee Nasella.
Henry Termier, bold strategist, innovative business leader, pioneer in biotechnology. Imbued with an incisive, analytical mind and great business acumen, you saw viable, life-saving treatments for rare genetic diseases where others saw obstacles. With the entrepreneur's true desire to chart his own path, you unlocked Genzyme's potential and the potential of an entire industry by courageously challenging conventional wisdom. Your bold vision for global partnerships in drug development, your leadership in council as both a biotechnology creator and a policy advisor have helped expand the scale of research in the life sciences worldwide.
Henry A. Termier, in recognition of your enduring commitment to innovation that enlarges the possibilities for our economy, our healthcare system, and the human condition, Northeastern University is pleased to bestow upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Global Business. In recognition of this degree, Trustee Nasella will vest you with the hood. And now I'll present you with the diploma. Our next speaker and final speaker represents innovation and entrepreneurship at their highest level. He is a pioneer in the treatment of rare genetic diseases, a corporate leader who built the Genzyme Corporation into a global leader in biotechnology. And his efforts have improved and extended the lives of millions of people. And his vision, leadership, and humanitarian approach inspire us all. Please join me in welcoming our second commencement speaker, Henry A. Termeer.
Thank you very much, President Aoun. Thank you to the Northeastern community and the Northeastern leadership to allow me to stand here for a few minutes on my soapbox to talk about stuff I love. And congratulations to all of you, the graduating class. Congratulations to all the parents, and particularly congratulations to the faculty. Today is a remarkable day. Just to think that the thousands of you will be entering the job market with all your energy, with all your ideas, with all your adrenaline to make the world a better place. It is a remarkable moment. It's a remarkable moment for me. You didn't hear it said, you may have read it in the paper, but I too am in the job market. And like you, I have a similar advantage. I have work experience. And of course, you have an incredible advantage in a very important way through the co-op experience here at Northeastern. You do not know how important that is. We employ at Genzyme at least about 150 co-op students, numerous final students that join us over the years. And that experience is so critical. It's such an important thing to emphasize when you go out there. It is, of course, a remarkable moment to go out there. The world will quadruple. The active world of consumption, the active world of modern medicine, of anything we really produce, is enlarging at a rate that has never happened before, and it was alluded to earlier. We were treating about 1 billion people with modern medicine in the last 50 years or so, between Northern Europe, or Europe generally, and Northern America, and also Japan and Australia, some other places. In the next 40 years, we will expand it dramatically. We will have maybe 4 billion. We have never in history seen this kind of an expansion. This expansion will happen much outside this country. But we will be really very much involved. We need to figure out ways to be involved and to be part of that wave. And that is your future. Nobody before you really was confronted with the next 40 years looking like these next 40 years. It is very different. When 40 years ago, 50 years ago almost, I started my career. It's a remarkable moment. So, where to start? There may be 3 things that help me. And if you get some way to work with these three things for yourself, it may become useful to you. And there are 3 words. One of risk, and we heard that before too, mentioned. The other is responsibility, and the third is advice. In no particular order. Risk, responsibility, and advice. When we look at our future, there is only one way to look at it. We have to be bold. And when we are bold, we have to take some risks. We have to take some risks that actually imagines where we will end up far beyond anything we thought possible in the past. And I experienced that. When we started Genzyme, or I became involved with Genzyme, now 28 years ago, there were 17 people. These 17 people were on Neelan Street. You may not know where Neelan Street is, but it is close to Chinatown. At those days, we still had the combat zone. We had the red light district. I would park the car at 7 o'clock in the morning, walk to the office, I would get propositioned 3 times. It was a romantic moment in that neighborhood. But I was interested in what we were doing, intrigued by developing a treatment, potential treatment, for a very obscure but horrifying, awful disease called Gaucher disease. And we started to focus on that. And for most people, it seemed an impossible proposition. In the early days, we thought we needed 22,000 placentas to treat one patient 1 year. And people would come and say, stop this work. It is not going to produce any result. But we persisted. And we persisted because the disease was worth it. These patients, is a genetic disease, these patients develop an accumulation of lipids in the body. A 3-year-old may look like they've swallowed a basketball. And we worked very hard to reproduce the enzyme that was missing for these patients, and to change the enzyme in such a way that it found in the body the right place to go. And in a miraculous development, when we introduced this modified form of the enzyme to the first kid, a 3-year-old, that was about to lose his spleen, it worked. Today, when we recall that moment, this very sick, very anemic kid that was wriggling through the corridors of the NIH, when we recall that it worked, this actually worked, this impossible therapy worked for this kid, we still lose ourselves in the emotion of it. It was truly a miracle. But during this time that we were developing it, of course, people would come and judge what we were doing. They were seeing whether they should get involved. Many of my friends from California came and they looked at, they talked to me, and they pitied me. They said, this can never work. They thought here, this was a promising young man, but he is going to be very, very disappointed. And it was, in that sense, an experience that I will never forget, that when we got to the point where we showed that it worked, and we got that victory, and we started to accumulate the lessons of that moment, it completely changed the future of what we were doing. It became possible to think you can change the world. It became possible to think that you can trust your own gut feel. And we started to work on trying to repeat this. We weren't sure that this was just a one-off event, but then it became actually true that we could repeat this. We repeated it 14 times. We failed miserably 100 times, while the few cases succeeded. This is all a matter of measuring the risk. But the other part of this is the responsibility that you have to take. If you don't take responsibility for the risks you're taking, you're not going to be successful. You could try. We just ran a massive experiment in this country with the mortgage disaster. You know, it was really, did not work. We had a lot of people passing on the risk of these vehicles that funded people that really could not afford these mortgages. It was a giant Ponzi scheme, in reality. We have to learn, and this is and maybe you already know it, because maybe it was instilled in you in terms of what we do in the educational experience here. We have to learn to take responsibility for what we do. It makes things truly exciting. It makes it possible to really feel you earn the results that you're producing. Third part that I mentioned is advice. We need a lot of advice. We need good advice. We need not casual advice. We need not people that have strong opinions and try to take the decisions for us. Advisors don't take decisions. We make decisions. We take the decisions. And I have been fortunate. I had a lot of good advisors. And one advisor is in the room here, my wife. We talk about stuff. She has a complete different view on things. It's extremely helpful. It's sometimes nauseating. And sometimes it's really tough. You come in and you present a case, particularly all around the human factor, and you actually are wildly wrong. I'm also fortunate in another way. I'm fortunate that my mother is still around. And my mother actually is my longest advisor. And I'm not saying this because there's so many mothers around us here, but my mother can be a father, can be a brother, can be a sister, can be anybody. My mother, in my case, became my most important advisor. She's 96. She lives in the Netherlands. I talk to her at length once a week, and she has a view. She's very demanding. We played bridge not so long ago together, and I was her partner. I made mistakes. In frustration, she gave me the look a few times, and then in frustration, she put down her cards and said, how can you run a company, a large company, and play bridge in such a terrible way? And other times she called me, 6 o'clock in the morning, and she had read in a Dutch newspaper about an acquisition that we had done in the Netherlands, and it involved the treatment of 12 patients with a terrible disease. And without that treatment, these patients would die, potentially. And the paper was wondering whether this American company would actually support these Dutch patients. They were concerned about this. And they wanted to get an action going. She called me at 6 o'clock in the morning when she knew I would be in the car to work. And she did not say good morning. She said, what are you going to do about these patients? And I said, Mother, I'm almost 60 years old. I'm your son. You know what I'm going to do. And she said, I thought I would just check. My mother knew what I would do. But she cares. And she cared at that moment. It's important to have people advise us that care not just about you, but care about the outcome. There's much to be done. There's an incredible opportunity for all of us to achieve a lot of impact on how the future will look for the world. We have to be bold. And if we are bold, and if we take risks, and if we take responsibility for the risks that we take, the following years, we will change the world. Particularly when we are able to surround ourselves with people that give us the advice how to deal with the future. So I wish all of you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Henry, for your inspiring words. And now, Provost Director.
Men and women of the class of 2011, the moment that you all have been waiting for and working towards through the years of study is now here. The degrees in course will be conferred. Mr. President, it's my privilege to report to you that the candidates assembled here have qualified in all respects for the degrees in course. They have successfully completed curricula offered by the several schools and colleges of Northeastern University and have been recommended by the faculty and the Council of Deans to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. The candidates will be presented to you by the academic deans. After they have been presented, members of the graduating class in each school will please remain standing until their degrees have been conferred. I would like to invite David E. Luzzi, Dean of the College of Engineering, to come forward.
The candidates for bachelor's degree in the College of Engineering will please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the award-winning class of 2011 engineers. These candidates are engineers because they understand that dreams require doing and have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Science with specification.
I would like to invite Harry Lane, Acting Dean of the College of Business Administration, to come forward.
Would the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Business please rise? There are a lot of you. Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration or Bachelor of Science in International Business.
I would like to invite Stephen R. Zoloth, Dean of the Bouvet College of Health Sciences, to come forward.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the Bouvet College of Health Sciences please rise? Mr. President, I have the honor to present the healthcare leaders of the future, the true professionals who will lead us in health reform, the candidates who've qualified in all respects for the bachelor's degree and bachelor degree with specification in Bouvet College of Health Sciences.
I would like to invite Larry A. Finkelstein, Dean of the College of Computer and Information Science, to come forward.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the College of Computer and Information Science please rise? Mr. President, I have the privilege of presenting you those candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Science with specification.
I would like to invite Xavier Costa, Dean of the new College of Arts, Media, and Design, to come forward.
The candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Arts, Media, and Design will please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Fine Arts.
I would like to invite J. Murray Gibson, Dean of the new College of Science, to come forward.
Would the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the College of Science please rise? I congratulate all of you on what you've achieved and remind you you've made one other special achievement. You are the first graduates of the College of Science at Northeastern University. Congratulations. Mr. President, I'm pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts.
I would like to invite George Van Dennebale, Dean of the new College of Social Sciences and Humanities, to come forward.
Will the candidates in bachelor's degree in the College of Social Sciences and Humanities please rise? Mr. President, I am pleased and extraordinarily honored to present this first founding group of graduates of the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts. Congratulations.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University, I confer upon you and all those who have properly qualified the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science with specification, according to the department in which you have qualified with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Congratulations, graduates.
Will the graduates all please be seated? Graduates, please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Northeastern's a cappella group, the Nor'easters.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And when the broken-hearted people living in this world agree, there will be an answer. Let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be.
The night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be.
Wake up with the
Let's hear it one more time for the Nor'easters. The marshals will now present the graduates to the platform in order to receive their diplomas. We ask that all graduates return to their seats following receipt of your diplomas and to remain seated throughout the ceremony. All family and guests should also remain in the audience until the graduates have recessed.
Thank you for everything.
Will all graduates please rise? All the candidates that are receiving their first degree today will now shift their tassel to the left side of their caps. Now, please join me, remain standing, and please join the Nor'easters in singing the alma mater. Words and music are on the back of the page of the program. We invite all Northeastern alums in the audience to also stand and sing with us.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so start ASAP.
Sing your praises strong. Your children gather far and near and seek your blessings dear. Fair memories we cherish now and will forevermore. Come, let us raise our voices strong. Northeastern we adore. Yeah!
Will everyone please be seated?
Graduates, it is time for me to give you the charges. And I prepared a very long speech of about an hour. However, the ambassador reminded me that brevity is a virtue. So thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Therefore, I'm going to be brief. This is my charge to you, class of 2011. Through their lives and accomplishments, each of our honorary degree recipients represents the message I want to convey. In fact, Bert and John Jacobs have summed it up in their mottos. So I'm going to use their mottos. Do what you like and like what you do. Let your passion be the fuel that drives your work, and let your compassion be the force that makes it valuable to the world. Jump in and take risks. Only by taking risks can you truly know how far you can go. Next, go places, continue to explore the world. By exploring the world, you'll discover yourselves, and by endeavoring to know others, you'll embrace your own understanding of who you really are. And finally, let the music move you. As you travel on your journey, keep your minds open to the music of existence. Enjoy yourselves and every experience the world has to offer. Why? Because life is good. Now, every year, the platform has beach ball envy. And this year, we decided to change it. I do believe that you got a great education, and now the ball is in your court.
Again, I'd like to congratulate all of those graduating today. I'd like the audience and graduates to please remain seated and wait for the marshals to lead the graduates into recessional.